What's going on, everyone? Today is going to be my first trading video, my first informational video, but I'm going to take this more of like a journal and keeping myself accountable rather than being informative. So do expect that it's not going to be as beneficial for you guys as you think when you come watch this video. But let's get straight into today and what I did right and what I did wrong and what I can work on tomorrow. But yeah, like I said, I just want to emphasize it's going to be more of a journal for me and holding myself accountable and showing the ups and downs of trading, basically. But I'm going to be as transparent as I can, and this should improve my executions and my trading moving forward. But let's go ahead and jump into today. Today is a no news Monday. We had no news on the docket today. This is just forexfactory.com. I'm already in replay mode, and I'm at 9 a.m. It's almost 9:30, almost market open. So let's just come into what I was seeing coming into the day. So on the 30-minute, on the 1 hour, we're showing a nice little V-shape, bullish momentum upward. This is just NQ. Took out these swing lows right here. We're rejecting out of this 1 hour gap, moving higher, and rejecting out of this 1 hour gap right here. I'll just mark this out real quick. So I'm expecting price to be bullish. So this high and into all-time highs if applicable. But that's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting some sort of move down into this 1 hour gap, and then we start to move up to all-time highs. That's what I'm thinking going into the day. So let's go ahead and drop down to a lower time frame, like the 15-minute. We got these two beautiful 15-minute bullish gaps right here. Bang and bang. If we were to see a reaction off of these near open, some sort of validation for us to move higher, I would take this into all-time highs and previous day high. But let's see what happens at market open. Let's drop down to the 1 minute because that's what I usually look at the most. Got London low, Asia low, previous day low already been swept. These would be our draws for lower. We do have some low resistance liquidity right here, but like I said, I'm more bullish than anything. So let's just go ahead and see what market open does in 4 minutes. Bang. All right, so market open starts ripping lower immediately starts ripping lower. This is the 5 minute, this is the 15-minute. We're just disrespecting these gaps, just continuously ripping lower. Still going lower. Now we start seeing a move higher, okay? But during this move higher, we do have this 5 minute gap right here. And after seeing us disrespect these two PD arrays right here, I know we're reacting off of this first presented 5 minute gap and first presented 15-minute gap, but a dump like this at market open usually means we're just going to continue the trend. And as you guys know, the trend is your friend. You don't want to trade against the market. So we have this first presented 5 minute gap on this leg down. And we also have this just secondary 5 minute gap. No longer interested in these 15-minute gaps. I'm just going to delete them. So we trade back into this 5 minute. Do we see some sort of reaction for lower? No, we don't. We tap the first presented 5 minute gap right here perfectly. Just barely nick into it. And if we check ES, I believe ES has swept its highs. So there's an SMT at the highs with ES. Now we go back to NQ because that's the asset that I trade. This would have been a beautiful short. This would have been a fire short, but mentally I was too hard stuck on the idea of longing. So let's say, you got this baby little 1 minute inversion and you put your entry on that inversion and you're targeting this New York low or even lower, because like I said, if these gaps were to get disrespected at open, I'm going to look for lower. So seeing these gaps get respected now, these bearish gaps are being respected, you could target recent AM low, this swing low, or even London and Asia low as your final draws. Because what do we know? New York usually starts the move that sweeps all major liquidity. So this would have been a 47 point stop, 338 point take profit. I did not take this though. I was way too hard stuck on the idea of longing, especially because we had an SMT with this swing low and this swing low, and we were delivering out of the first presented 15-minute gap on this leg up right here. We have this 15-minute gap right here, but obviously no long was valid. So let's just real quick play this out. Boom, AM low gets swept, massive reaction for higher. And I'm sure a lot of people thought this was boom, go long right here. However, I did not trust this weird 86-point candle for higher. I just don't think that this was the right play. So I just sat patiently and waited. Keep going. Still doing his thing. Boom, we get another rejection, but this time we don't tap the 15-minute gap that was created. What we do is we have this 1-minute rejection block, and we tap the CE right here. We tap the CE and we immediately reject lower. So here I should have just fired off the alarms like go short, but again, I was too hard stuck on longs, unfortunately, and I was too scared to execute, knowing that mentally I came in looking for longs. I just came in with too strong of a bias. So I did not take this secondary short right here. So I'm still waiting. Waiting. Boom, we get another inversion right here coming out of this 1-minute gap. So we have this leg down, the first presented gap on this leg down, we have a inversion. Now this is tiny, but it works because it's true and it's tried and true. So we have this 1-minute inversion out of this first presented gap on this leg down. This would have been amazing. This would have been an amazing short. Boom. You could take this just to the New York AM low. If I was still super hyper bullish, take this to the New York AM low for a 3.3R and would have banked. But I did not take this. I faded. And why did I fade? You're front running this BPR 3-minute gap. I didn't feel like this was the move. I didn't think this was the move of the day yet. Now, what do we also notice? 10 a.m. opens with no top wick right here. We move lower, create a SMT at these lows, move higher, and then come back down. So what does this look like? We have, boom, 10 a.m. open right here. All right, let's say this is 10 a.m., bang. All right, what do we see? We see price open, no wick, move lower, and now this move back up is the creation of our top wick on this candle. All right, and then we can expect a trade back lower. So with that in mind, you know, as you guys know, candles have a open, low, high, close, or open, high, low, close. Now 10 a.m. didn't have a top wick, meaning that price was 99.99% chance going to retrace back in and create a wick for the 10 a.m. 4-hour candle. So as we see right here, 4-hour open, which is 10 a.m., we create this top wick, which respects this rejection block out of the 5-minute gap and begins to trade lower. And obviously, if you guys paid attention today, this was the move. That was it. This was the short to London low. You could target Asia low as well. But yeah, man, I faded this completely just because I was just scared to execute, dude. I was coming in way too strong of a bias, way too strong, looking for longs. Like, I wanted long. That's all I wanted. But SMT at the lows, it just looked too good to want a short. And yeah, so if you targeted Asia low, you'd be up in profit, whatever. You'd be, you know, chopping around, boom. We get a 15-minute tap with this 1-minute change in the state of delivery right here. Here's our liquidity, gets swept. And we have this 1-minute change in the state right here. Could have took another entry right here. You could have had another entry opportunity right here down to this Asia low. And this plays out beautifully, man. Boom, you get tagged in. Little chop, but what ends up happening? Boom, delivery. Now, PA was not super clean or smooth today, but I don't think that was the issue here. I think the issue came from me coming in with too strong of a bias. So I guess what I can learn from this and, go into tomorrow with is do not come in with way too strong of a bias. Let the market tell you what it wants to do and follow what the market wants to do. Obviously, we did have bullish gaps on this leg up, but once I saw us start disrespecting them, I should not have been looking for longs anymore. Honestly, that's it. I did not take any sort of trades today. Nothing at all. None of my fundeds. I got 10 fundeds with Apex right now. They're all activated accounts. Didn't take a single trade on them today. No executions, no nothing. And yeah, man, it's just a little sad just because it was like, I remember looking at this and thinking like, man, I could totally short this. But just a little voice in the back of my head telling me like, no, you want a long, you want a long. And yeah, I listened to it and it's terrible, man. It's a little brutal, honestly. But this also would have been a fire short. We get this accumulation, a manipulation of this high right here. Inversion, bam, straight into Asia low. Yeah, not much more to say besides that. Just really unfortunate. And yeah, man, I really don't know what else to say. I just need to lock in and listen and trust my analysis more moving forward. But it is what it is. I believe there was another opportunity for an entry right here. We have an OTE entry and a 5-minute rejection block entry. Boom, tap OTE, tap the rejection block. There's also a 5-minute gap right here. Oops. And as you can see on the higher time frame, 5-minute opens, sweeps out, previous candle's high. If you guys know anything about CRT, we can expect this candle's low to be taken next. But I also faded this mainly because I wasn't really on the charts at this time, so I didn't really pay attention or look for this at all. I also would have stopped trading once Asia low got taken because this was my personal draw after seeing us come down so much. So once Asia low got swept, I really didn't know what else to target. I also didn't feel comfortable targeting anything else. So yeah, but that is today, $0 in the day. And yeah, man, it is what it is. There's nothing else I can say besides I need to execute and trust my analysis more and not have such a strong bias going into the day. But we're all human, we make mistakes, man. At least I didn't take a stupid trade. At least I didn't chase the market. There's always tomorrow, so hopefully tomorrow's video will be a win, or it could be a loss. Hopefully I just execute and follow my plan. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, these videos are going to be a lot more of like an accountability thing for me and more of like a personal journal. And like I'm journaling my days rather than really informing you guys on how to trade. But if you guys want me to make informative videos, I can and I will. Just let me guys know in the comments if this ends up getting more than fucking 3 views. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 sharp. Yeah, it's kind of brutal, but it is what it is, man.